Good evening, everybody. Tuesday, day 7 at the Iron County Courthouse in Crystal Falls, Michigan for the lawsuit between Laura Frizzo, former police chief of Iron River, versus current city manager and the city of Iron River, Michigan. I left court early. They are still in there now. There is a public accountant talking. There's no reason for me to even sit there and watch that. They're just talking numbers. Defense is just trying to basically downplay the whole situation, and they just want to talk about, they're trying to dispute money situation. In my mind, they're just trying to lessen the blow because they know they're going to lose this case. This is going to be a full day video of today's testimony in the courthouse. And it's going to be short. It's not going to be 45 minutes like the other ones have been, maybe 10 minutes. There really wasn't a lot. The people that were on the stand today, in my opinion, didn't help the defense. If anything, they hurt the defense, in my opinion. All right, well, let's get going here, shall we? 9 a.m. we did start court. We were supposed to start early, but that did not happen. First on the stand was Craig Childs, or Dr. Childs. He is the second doctor that did the fitness exam. He is a psychiatrist of 10 years from Delafield, Wisconsin. Said he spoke on the phone with Thayer, city manager Thayer, and sent him a formal request to do a fitness exam on then police chief Laura Frizzo. The manager cited behavioral concerns, mental health concerns, basically said that a fitness exam is a legal way to see into somebody's personal file. So, or personal life, I'm sorry. If you want to see into somebody's personal life as a, however it is, like you want to see doctor records, you want to see this and that, you want to see into their life, a fitness exam is a way of going around the legal boundaries that would stop you. You can't, through HIPAA, you can't ask for that type of info. He testified that he interviewed her for almost 6.5 hours. And again, he did cite behavioral and medical issues that they were concerned about. That was why she was given that. Basically, his whole testimony, because he is a doctor, he was doing the fitness for duty exam, to which she passed. There's no question about it. She passed. He said in his report that this was not a mental health issue. Now, if you remember, that was one of the concerns. The concern was behavioral concerns and mental health concerns concerning Laura Frizzo and being a police chief. But he found that it was not a mental health issue. He figured it had to been something, just disagreements between the two. He said, she said sort of thing. It was nothing mental, so therefore, his job was done. The only thing he was hired for was to find if she was fit for duty or not. He testified she was fit. On cross-examination, Laura's attorneys asked him about referrals. How many are actually unfit that you do? And he said about 70% of the referrals he does, he finds that they are unfit. However, that doesn't mean they're going to lose their job, and the majority of the cases where he's investigated somebody or found them unfit, they in fact went back to work. They were fit for duty after that. It turns out that if you're found unfit for duty, you have more rights afterwards than if you're found fit and fired like she was. To this day, she was the only police chief that he has ever done a fitness for duty exam on. The majority of his fitness for duties are done on police officers, not superiors, and most definitely not police chiefs. He says that to this date, even 2 years ago this happened, to this day, she is still the only police chief he has ever done this with. A month after he filed the paperwork saying that she was fit for duty, Thayer turned around and sent a letter to Dr. Childs talking about the termination. He wanted to let Dr. Childs know that she was fired. Why? Dr. Childs says he's never asked for one. And he said in all the referrals that he's ever done, nobody has ever sent him that letter. Well, shortly after that, we went into recess and we came back. That was the end of the testimony for Dr. Childs. Next, we heard from a Karen Schultz. It's spelled Schulthes. Schultz. She's a retired social worker who hasn't worked for many, many years, and she basically was doing a labor market survey talking about numbers. You want to talk about boring? Watch one of those ones. She was talking about the jobs available to Laura after the firing. Again, they're talking about Laura after being fired. What did you do after fired? What steps did you take to find employment? Where did you go to look for work? It just kept talking on and on and on about this. This lady was hired to double check where Laura applied for work at after being fired. Again, this mind boggles me. What does this have to do other than the fact you're trying to lessen the blow after David is found, I won't say guilty because that's not how this works, but at fault? I don't think the defense is lessening. This witness did not help the defense, I don't think. She normally testifies at disability cases. This lady only testifies for disability cases. She had never been hired before to research somebody who didn't have a disability, injured. So I find her to be kind of an awkward witness. Why do you hire somebody that's never investigated or researched the field that you need her for, right? You know what I mean? Secondly, she testified that she's never heard of the Kelly Cochran case. She says she lives in this area. She works in this area. She's very familiar with this area, except the largest serial murder case on the news, in the newspapers, in the area, on Facebook, social media, she didn't know about. I find that very, very hard to believe. That's all the testimony on her. She was boring. She didn't help the case. I really, again, feel as though they were trying to lessen the blow. I see your comments are going up, guys. I will go back and cover those, but I'm not right now. Let me stay focused. We had a lunch break. We came back to a Stephen Davis. He was an Iron County resident for 20 years. His son got into an accident in 2015 on Hunter Road in US 2. It was a collision between his son and a bicyclist. And the bicyclist was severely injured, having to go to the hospital. On scene, he testified, was the Iron River PD, Laura Frizzo. He also testified that the Sheriff's Department was directing traffic, and the city of Caspian also had a road blocked off. They were waiting for the state police. He testified Laura was there along with Dr. Yarber. Stephen says Laura told him to shut the fuck up. If you got kids in the room, I'm sorry, I'm just going to say it as it is. After he saw Dr. Yarber kicking evidence, as he said, out of the road. Dr. Yarber, apparently, I don't know why he was there. Maybe he was first on scene. It was a pedestrian who was injured severely. He is a doctor, so maybe that's why. They never did really say why he was there. Apparently, he was kicking parts of debris off the roadway for whatever reason, and Stephen said that he confronted him, to which Laura responded, "Shut the F up." It didn't really get into much of the conversation on that. On cross-exam, Laura's attorneys asked about the bike rider. They asked if the bike rider actually sued Stephen's son, which he did. The bike rider had serious injuries. The son was on the phone during this accident that came out in court, that he was texting on the phone and that he swerved and hit a bike rider on the side of the road, severely injuring him. this man's niece had killed a 3-month-old baby, either before or after this, but he says he has no knowledge of it. They're trying to have him talk about knowledge of Laura Frizzo, trying to talk about, how do you know Laura? How do you know these city's employees? Have you ever had dealings with Laura before? Well, it turns out that his niece, who killed the 3-month-old baby, who he has no knowledge of, mind you, well, it turns out that in that case, it was Laura Frizzo who investigated it. And Dr. Yarber was the medical examiner who found that she had killed this baby. And Laura's attorneys are suggesting that he has some sort of prejudice against Laura as to why. Another thing that came out is, where did this come from? Where did his testimony come from? How did the defense find out about the F-bomb that was in no complaints? He never filed a complaint with the city. He never spoke to the city manager. He never testified in his own son's lawsuit. He never wrote down anywhere that she used the F-bomb against him. And really, the question was, where did this info come from? Well, it turns out that the lawyers that his son hired for the accident is the same lawyer representing Thayer. So the same lawyer representing Thayer also represented a person that struck a bicyclist, and therefore he knows details from that case, including the F-bomb. But still, this man was never sat in a deposition. He never testified. He never told anybody about the F-bomb, but apparently this lawyer must have been talking to him, and he knew that. They tried to talk about Laura took the son's cell phone without a warrant. Well, at the accident scene, it come to find out that he was texting, and they took the phone in order to complete their investigation. And afterwards, they did issue a warrant for the phone. Now, I believe that to have a physical possession of the phone, you don't necessarily need that warrant. What you need the warrant for is to go into the phone to look at the evidence in the phone, not the phone itself. But the father kept talking about how she took the phone from her son and how he was there and he saw the whole thing, except for his son is 18 years old, so technically he's got no right, no say, no nothing in the matter. And again, the matter of fact is that he was texting some girl on the phone saying, "I love you, babe," or something like that, and then he struck and severely injured this person. And again, never told anybody about the F-bomb, but suddenly that just appeared. Also, it is funny too that during Laura's attorney's recross, that's when he suddenly remembered that the defense attorney on the defense represented his son, because he forgot that before, So anyway, he was excused. Next up, we have Laura Frizzo's brother. The defense called Laura Frizzle's brother, Amanda, 84, $10 super chat. I just saw that pop up. Thank you very much. I do appreciate that. Anybody else want to make a donation of some sort via YouTube, you can make a super chat, which will make your chat pop up to the top of the log. And yeah, thank you again, Amanda. Anyway, Laura Frizzle's brother came up to testify. The defense calls her, I don't, you called her own brother to defense. Seriously? So he oversees police unions in the UP of Michigan. He is the, what was the association? It's like the Michigan Police Association of what basically they oversee all the unions, and they're just a collection of union brothers that represent everybody. So he oversees that. The defense was asking if he could help Laura find employment, and he said he could. Most definitely. He testified he had never heard of any law enforcement agency refusing to hire older employees. He testified that he knew about the issues between Thayer and Frizzle, the interactions and the issues that that his sister was having with Thayer. He testified that he knows about Laura asking about returning to the bargaining table. In fact, they talked and discussed the bargaining table to a good extent. He believes that the former manager signed her contract, and he testified that Thayer decided he would not redo the contract on his own decision. However, if you watch the past videos, you know, and as I've said, the city managers have never signed her contract. Thayer did not sign her contract. The former manager did not sign her contract. That her contract was signed by the standing and still is now Iron River Mayor Tarsi. I'm warm today, and today as I'm sitting in the car here, it's cold outside. I just don't want to, I don't know if they're going to let out early. I don't want the backdrop behind me to be at the courthouse in case the jury comes out, because we have explicit directions, do not film the jury. So her brother testified majority of officers are male. Her brother testified that swearing is an accepted practice in law enforcement. Sometimes in order to take control of a situation, you need to swear. You need to insert your authority, and no matter what, no matter the word, you need to take control of the situation. So if it involves swearing, it involves raising your voice, if it involves screaming, that's what they do. He testified that he has no idea about Laura looking for work, that he was not in part of that. And he also agreed that Laura has a right to search for jobs on her own, that she wouldn't need to contact her brother. Now, I don't know the back history. I don't know the connection between her and her brother, other than the relation. I don't know whether they don't see eye to eye. They're both in law enforcement. They have that going for them. They seem like they've made a lot of eye contact. I can tell that her brother did not want to be here. Maybe they don't get along. Maybe they're having argument. You know what I mean? Family has issues. Maybe that's what's going on. I don't know. Personally, I believe he helped Laura a lot more than he helped the manager. Laura's attorney asks about union testimony. Thayer's attorney objects. However, Thayer's attorney is the one who called Laura's brother to the stand, a union representative. They introduced it. So they did talk about the gag order again. The police association lawyer took action by filing a letter to the city manager, telling him that this violated terms and conditions, that this used the wrong language, and it violated contracts for police officers. So they took that down. They issued a new gag order, which we found out today. The new gag order was issued by David Thayer's current attorney, who is today in court representing him. On redirect, defense says officers can swear to maintain a situation, but never in anger. Again, helping Laura. I mean, this guy testified that police can swear, and the fact that Laura swore in different instances is an okay practice. And again, I said yesterday, if you believe a male police officer can swear, but you feel that a female police officer shouldn't swear because she's female, that's sexist. That's what this whole thing is about. And I just left during the testimony of Nicholas. I'm not even going to try to pronounce his name. I think it's. I have no idea what it is. Here, I'll spell it for you. You tell me what it is. Somebody type it in a comment. MOUZOUKRS. Is that, I don't know what that is. Russian, Slovakian. I don't know. So anyway, he is a public accountant, and he's up to right now testifying all about the money that Laura lost out on, the money that the defense says Laura lost. They're trying to combat testimony of a economics person that talked about how much money Laura would have lost, how much she would have gained, how much she would have made had she continued working. It's, again, I think they're trying to blow down the defense of, or they're trying to lessen the blow. I believe they know Laura is going to win. I'm hot, holy moly. If you know that your client is going to lose a case, I've seen in previous videos, people are like, oh my God, he's drinking beer. Let's rip it. It's not beer. Oh gosh. Anyway, what was I just talking about? I totally lost my mind here. Again, thank you big time to Amanda84 for your super chat, $10 super chat. I do appreciate it. Anybody can give a super chat. It's something that YouTube has been providing, kind of a way for you guys to tip me, or however you want to look at it. And most appreciated by Amanda. Audrey, hello, how are you? Catherine says hello. Ben, hey y'all. Oh, Rogue. I don't know what your comment means. Catherine says, I think after Laura was fired, they have no business doing an investigation. Tammy says, hello, I'm new to your chat. Hello, Tammy Bowers. Welcome to my chat. If you want to know what I'm talking about, please go back to my page, my YouTube page, follow through and watch day 1 through the rest of them. You might have an understanding. Former Laura Frizzo police chief was fired during a major criminal investigation under the Kelly Cochran case, the serial killer from Iron River who was put in prison for killing her boyfriend and then her husband. And that is, Laura was fired by the city manager for lots of things. But you'll have to go back and look at all those videos. I'm not going to sit here and tell you now. Love you, Jason. Lori says, love you right back as a fan. Don't tell my wife that because she might get mad. And she's been watching these, so she's going to see this. Sorry. Haven't heard of the trial. Well, again, read back. Google is the most powerful tool you can use. Put in your Google search, Laura Frizzo, David Thayer. You will see everything popping up in all the news feeds, everything concerning this case. Google is your friend. Use it. And what we got here, end of days. Even if they get a phone warrant, she can refuse giving up the password. Yeah, that is right. Oh, and yeah, Lori said she couldn't pronounce that word either. Of course, Laura will win. Today's testimony is funny, Andrew says. Merry Christmas to you, Stephanie Walker. And WIKB News slammed Tarsi today. Who is WIKB News? Audrey, would you send me that link to my Facebook page so I can look at that when I get home? Thank you very much. I know you will. And that's really going to conclude today's testimony. I do encourage you to watch yesterday's video where I talk about Mayor Tarsi lying to the citizens of Iron River on a continuous basis. As a matter of fact, in my playlist that I have under this Laura Frizzo, you can see 3 council meetings where Mayor Tarsi lied on tape at those meetings and then came here to this trial and testified where he told the truth about some of the things he talked about in those meetings. After this trial is over, I believe the next week I will try to go dig up some of those old videos and maybe repost some of that talking about that. Anyway, I will be here tomorrow morning, day 8, for the Laura Frizzo versus David Thayer trial. David Thayer will be taking the stand tomorrow morning. If you're from Iron River, if you're from Iron County, if you're from anywhere around here, and you've been like thinking, man, should I go up there? Should I go up there and support Laura? Do. Laura's here. Jeremy's here. You've seen Jeremy and Laura on Dead North. If you want to come and meet them, strictly from the Dead North part, feel free. Jeremy is an awesome guy. He loves to talk. He'll talk with you. Laura, same way. She's a beautiful woman, and she will talk with you openly. Come on down to the courthouse tomorrow. Watch the last day of testimony. watch City Manager David Thayer on the stand. His ass is going to be on fire. I guarantee it. Anyway, guys, thank you a lot again for joining me. Make sure you check out my Facebook page. I've been posting a lot of information there. Make sure you check me out on Instagram. I've been posting pictures here from the courthouse and just everyday parts of my life. Also, what else do I got below? Hell, Instagram, Twitter, Facebook. I do have a Twitter account. I saw somebody ask me. I do have a Twitter account. You might find it under my name, but it is under, I don't even remember, Elmer, something. I don't even remember. You find me there, and as always, and again, I do have a link down below for my PayPal account. Should you like the content you're watching now and you want to help me out on gas, on bills, on shoveling snow, on taking my wife out, you want to pay for a trip to Vegas, whatever it is, my PayPal account is right below. You can send me any amount or just choose to send no amount. Thanks a lot again, everybody. Day 7. Make sure you give me a thumbs up on this video. I see right now we have 8 thumbs up, 22 people watching. We could use, there's 9. Keep going up. Boost me up, man. And again, trolls, give me a thumbs down, please. Trolls, give me the thumbs down. YouTube does not care whether it's a thumbs up or a thumbs down. You guys probably get tired of me talking about that, but I can't help it. Trolls are an everyday part of YouTube. We all have them. Some ban them, some hate them. I love them. I love my trolls. If you can't love a troll, what can you say about yourself? And as always, everybody, leave a comment below. I will get back to you. Previous videos, I told you that the comments disappear. I didn't realize that on YouTube, on your computer, the live stream comments, the ones you're leaving now, actually are there. They're up on the right-hand side of the screen, above all where the other videos are listed. I'd never noticed that before. I don't pay attention to that when I watch myself on video. So you've got, these comments will stay, I guess, and any more comments posted will go below. So again, guys, thanks a lot for joining me. Make sure you're a subscriber so you know when I'm going live, so you know when I post videos, so you get that email. Click that little bell above there. And as always, guys, I do appreciate it. Audrey says that was the radio station. Oh, okay. I wish I could have heard that. Stephanie says, I'm telling my mom about this and your channel. Stephanie, go watch Dead North. Go watch it. It's it's about 4 hours long. Trust me, after you watch it, you'll understand a lot more about this. Catherine says, what a waste of taxpayers' money. I'm not sure whose taxpayers' money, because Laura hired her own attorney. The city is doing their own thing, so I'm not sure how about that. Team Laura, Team Frizzle, that's right, you know. And my voice is now just about gone. All right, guys, that's it. I'm heading home, 35-minute drive. I'm taking the the slow ride home today. Thankfully, it's still light out. I don't have to worry about deer. Man, there's a lot of deer on the road. So with that being said, thank you again. Day 7. Return back tomorrow for day 8, which may be the conclusion of this trial. And I'm sure we'll get into it again. This is Jason Asselin reporting live from Crystal Falls, Michigan at the Iron County Courthouse. Have a beautiful night, everybody. We'll talk to you again soon.